Here we are after a very long episode 41. We are back for episode 42 of Collective Perspective. Let's do it. Today we're going to we're just going to go to the first three links that popped up for Craig when he searched rarest video games. Is that what you searched?
Yeah, I typed in the rarest video games on Google, and then I don't think it was the first three links, but it was three that I thought would have interesting lists. As you can see at the top of the screen, we got CBR, Yahoo, and Insider, Business Insider. So let's see what the real video game collecting experts have to say.
All right, we're going businessinsider.com. Let's see what my man Stephen Tweedy has to say from 2014. All right, this is 10 years ago almost. We'll give Steven a little credit. I like to imagine that this is Steven right here and not David McNew.
Nah, he's just a hardcore gamer.
I mean, look at this plasma screen right here on the 360.
Somebody be a detective in the comments and tell me what game he's playing, because I have no idea what that is.
What is the list? Ranked the rarest in the world. So we're going top expensive. 15. Oh yes, because those are equivalent things. The rarest, most expensive video games in the world, and somehow a PS1 game is making it. So, we got Elemental Gearbolts. Tell me about it, Craig.
I was going to say, to be fair, as you can see in the text, only 40 of these limited edition bundles were produced.
Oh, okay.
So I guess if you're counting limited edition, then that is fair to say. I mean, I can't imagine 50 more games that were released with more than 40 copies. But they were also E3 awards, so I'm like, does it really count? I don't know.
Oh, is that what it... Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I've heard of this one before, vaguely. But, yeah,
it's
very,
also
very
cool that it's working designs, so I feel like there's a lot of retrospective history of working designs where, like, people are kind of, like, dogpiling on them now for not making good localizations, but they were really kind of the pioneers of, like, bringing, like, the niche games over here back in the day, so give credit where credit's due, people. They were doing God's work before we had limited run and all these weird random companies giving us these cool, interesting releases.
So I don't know what it's worth, but 1,400 in 2014 was a lot of freaking money. It's probably like 5x now, especially if there's only 40 in existence.
Looking at these, though, I don't even know if I'm going to keep in mind the price that they have listed with some of these, because one, is probably not accurate, and two, as we always say, rarity and price don't always go hand in hand. So I think it's better for us to judge whether the game is actually rare or not.
Number 14. Have you ever heard of Eli's Ladder on the 2600?
I haven't. The rarest educational video game in existence.
Players answer simple math questions to move Eli up the ladder into his spaceship. Are we not getting any more information than that? That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So, here's my issue with a lot of these Atari releases that are basically just made by, like, some dude in a basement that made, like, 20 copies and nobody bought. Am I a jerk for saying they don't count? Because I don't think that they count. Because it wasn't really commercially available, right? At least not by the definition of being commercially available.
If this is, like... So this actually comes from Atari Age. That's pretty cool. But if this is what you're saying, and this happens to be a guy like, you know, this developer, publisher, whatever, was just some guy in a basement, then no, I personally couldn't count it towards a set. But that's why nobody goes for 2,600 sets. Like, that's not a thing.
Because there's no definitive list,
I think there's a handful of games like that Happy Birthday or whatever on Atari 2600. There's, like, none in existence. Like,
I think there's, like, 3 copies. So I don't know. I just feel like that doesn't really count as like a retail release. It's like if you count homebrew NES games towards the set, you know. I'm like, I feel like it's kind of the same thing.
A lot of people do that though.
I'm not a lot of people.
Business Insider, not so bad so far. Another 2,600 game, Karate.
Interesting. 2 publishers.
Designed by Black Belt Joseph Amelio.
So it's going to be super accurate to real life.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Interesting.
Released by 2 different publishers.
You know what? I like that so far 2 of the 3 games are things I've never heard of. I'm like, oh, this probably is pretty rare then, actually.
And it's also sourcing freaking Atari Age, which is very cool.
Yeah, a good source. So, another Atari game.
I'm surprised we haven't
Gauntlet.
seen like freaking I don't know what NWC yet. Like we're like 4 in here. This is pretty
Don't
good
worry.
list.
It's coming, I'm sure.
Gauntlet. Yeah, I definitely don't know this game either. Mail order game.
See, and that's where I'm just like, again, probably somebody in their basement that sold like 4 or 5 copies, but who knows?
Dude, you know Answer
Somebody's...
Software Corporation. Come on.
Oh, yes, my favorite publisher. That's funny.
Well, this video isn't going as planned. We were planning to roast these lists here.
I know.
But...
So far, I'm like, okay. See, like Tetris on the Sega Genesis, that's a great addition to the list. Extremely, extremely rare. There's like 3 copies.
Oh, this is Alexei Pajanov right here. Yeah.
Yes. Did you watch the Tetris movie on
I did.
Apple TV? It was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty solid movie.
I enjoyed it. Everyone go watch the Tetris movie. It slaps. Yeah, it says estimated around 10 copies of the game exist today. So that's probably accurate. But it's weird to list it at 11 because I'm like, what 10 other games are there with less than 10 copies?
Well, let me tell you, Craig, King of Fighters 2000 on the Neo Geo. Only 100 copies confirmed.
See?
And
So it
somehow
can't
it's
be
more
number
rare.
10 when the other one is number 11. No, but I always find Neo Geo stuff super interesting because I feel like it's such like a Wild West of just insanely expensive, insanely rare software, and most of it's really good games as well. So, like, I'm surprised that we have dumps of a lot of these games because it's like, who the hell even owns them?
Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about this game. 100 confirmed copies in the wild. The last in the series.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
SNK is now owned by the Saudi Arabian government, in case anyone was wondering.
Oh, shoot.
Good times.
Ultimate 11 Super Sidekicks 4 also on the Neo Geo. From
I
a
have heard
homebrew
of this
website.
one. Interesting. Sports fans. Yeah, Neo Geo had a lot of interesting, cool sports releases.
So this is a European release from '93. First soccer game for the Neo Geo. Interesting.
Huh. I wish that there was more concrete numbers on some of these, but I get it's hard to get that information.
Yeah, we'll literally never know.
All right,
So
back to our best friend, the 2600.
This is the 2600 and Neo Geo list here, which is pretty accurate, I'm sure. This is very cool. Sourcing, they're citing their own website for this one. Steven must own this game.
How interesting. Take on the original Atlantis game. So it was a prize then. Interesting. When it was a Defend the Atlantis competition, we're sent copies of Atlantis too. Huh.
Bermuda.
Reports that the 4 finalists. How interesting. So I wonder if they only made it for the people that made it into the competition. That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's super cool. The box says New Atlantis, and this says Atlantis 2.
Atlantis 2. Interesting.
Well, the fact that there's a picture means somebody was around to take this picture in the last.
Yeah, because that definitely looks like a scan of a cover. Yeah. So, must have been a physical copy that someone actually scanned. Neat. I'm thoroughly impressed with Insider. Look at that. Kazuna Encounter.
Euro. What's the console? Neo Geo.
Euro.
Oh, it's an arcade. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find this fighting game in arcades, however, and the Japanese release is the far more common. So this is the Euro release.
New? Interesting. I like that I'm actually learning stuff from this list, like rare games I have actually never heard of. This is cool.
This is gonna be like this is gonna be a completely different video than we were expecting.
I'm okay with it. Hey, we could use some positivity.
arcademuseum.com. Man, that sounds like a great site for me to check out. Like, that's good job, Business Insider.
Yeah, save that for later. Red Sea Crossing, I've definitely heard of this.
I feel like I've heard of this. Bible video game brings fun home. Promising players the chance to experience Moses' biblical crossing of the Red Sea. There were only 100 of these produced. So far, only two
have been found in the wild. Wow.
I
Why
love
did
that
we even
crap.
keep making video games after this? Clearly, we peaked at Red Sea Crossing. Because how do you beat a concept like that?
This is a magazine ad. It says, for the famous Bible story, Moses crossing the Red Sea. So this game that only had 100 produced actually had a whole ad in a magazine.
That's crazy. I love it.
Very cool.
That is really neat. Oh,
Here
we go. Here it is. We're bound to get here eventually.
Composed of Super Mario 3, Pinbot, and Dr. Mario, the NES cartridge was used for Nintendo's campus gaming competitions. Sold for $14,000 in 2006, resold for $20,000. I guess also in 2006.
Huh. Well, you know what? I like to hear about Campus Challenge because I feel like people sleep on it compared to World Champion. So,
yeah.
Shine a little bit of light on the little brother.
All copies thought to be destroyed.
Interesting. Air Raid, here we go. Very famous.
Here we go. Yeah, this freaking handle of a cartridge
so
here. You
weird.
love to see it.
Could knock somebody out with that thing.
Only 12 copies of the game are rumored to exist as of 2014. Crazy to think a game would sell for $33,000 in 2014.
I know. Before the big boom and all. Very interesting.
There she
here we go. There's my girl.
Well, I'm sure this 26 number is outdated now, right? Or is that the definitive number?
It might be the definitive number.
I get them mixed up, honestly. The gray, the gold, the campus challenge, like they're all kind of living in the same room in my head.
The same bubble.
Yeah, we don't need to spend too much time on that. There's the birthday game I was talking about.
There's Birthday Mania. We found it.
So, if I remember correctly, like
one verified copy.
You could say, "Hey, this is my name, and I want you to code my name into the game." I'm pretty sure that's how it worked.
Yeah, but see, it's like one copy exists. So it's like one guy just made this one copy of this game and released it. It's like, does it really count?
Well, this guy here, he's the one who's allowed to finish the 2600 set. No one else in the world can finish it now.
True. If you have Air Raid, you have to give it to him by law, legally. You owe him an Air Raid.
And that's only because this number is lower than Air Raid on the list, right? So
yep.
It trumps it.
Sorry, but you gotta pay your tax. Your Atari
Steven
tax.
from Business Insider said so.
There we go. In Gamma Attack.
Arguably the rarest video game available. Only one was produced by gaming company Gamation.
Man, you and the owner of Birthday Mania have to duel to the death to see who's the true Atari collector.
So I feel like I have heard of this one.
I definitely have as well. Anthony DiNardo.
So this guy's listed it for $500K and no one's purchased it as of 2014.
How interesting. Well, that was a surprisingly refreshing list. I expected to see your typical, like, stupid inclusions. So, kind of happy to see that.
Realistically, yeah, there were no Conker's Bad Fur Days on this list. Realistically, we should see some of the same games on this next list. But let's see.
Well, let's see. I'm curious now. I see some Atari right away, so.
The 10 rarest video games ranked. Here we go.
All right. What's number 10?
Tulip. That's like a PS2 game. What?
Thank you, CBR. You proved our point.
What is this website?
The first entry, Comic Book
what
Ranker.
Is CBR? Okay.
They just do. It's mostly a list website, and they're usually all terrible lists. So when I typed it in and I saw them come up, I made sure to choose them.
Here we go. Who is this
And I'm not
kitty? It was the one
disappointed.
that wrote this list in
Kitty.
2022.
Come on, kitty. You're
All right, we
better
got
than this. Oh, nobody attack Kitty, by the way. This is all in good jest, but
Yeah,
it is
for
funny
sure.
to see that as the first thing.
Okay, we got Pepsi Invaders. I don't know this one.
Yeah, it was a game by Coke to attack Pepsi.
I love
Massive Coke wins. I was gonna say, is it official? I don't actually know for sure if it's official.
that. Apparently 125 have surfaced as of last year.
Oh, for a convention. How funny. Yeah, commissioned by Coca-Cola for their 1983 sales convention. That's funny.
I'd say it counts towards the set.
It's official. Added to the list. There's Air
Here's
Raid again.
Air Raid. Good call.
There we go. We're good with it. But it's so funny because then the next two is like, all right, good entries. But then Tulip is number 10. I can't get over it. That's so funny. It's not even the rarest PS2 game.
So Kitty says that there was an intact box copy in 2012 finally confirmed. So people previously thought that it was only a bootleg game, but turns out once they found this box copy, it was legit.
That's pretty neat. I'm down for that. Birthday
Mania.
Oh man, look at that thrilling gameplay.
Yeah, what are you, lighting the candle? That's what it is.
It's beautiful.
Blaster cockpit arcade machines put the player right in the action.
Blaster cockpit.
I think the name of the game is Blaster.
Interesting. Never even heard of this one.
Super rare is in the extreme, as only 5 are known to have been produced. Not all weathered the decades unharmed. One was even converted to play another unfinished game known as Devastator.
So this is an arcade cabinet that's rare. That's kind of cool.
That is super cool.
That's a fun entry. I'm down for that. All right, you're redeeming yourself a little bit the more we go down this list.
Oh boy.
E.T.
All right, so this E.T. is rarer than
Birthday Mania with
and Air Raid.
with like 2 copies of known to exist of one and 1 copy of the other. Perfect.
Roger that.
The game that was so overproduced that they had to fill a landfill of it. Pretty rare.
Another arcade cabinet, the
Sinistar.
Duramold Sinistar.
Huh. No familiarity with Sinistar besides knowing the name.
I've played some Sinistar in my days, but I guess this is like a certain cabinet that they had to recall because the monitor was falling out.
Well, that doesn't make it rare. It makes it broken.
Limited to a run of only 3, Craig.
3. All right. I'll give it to you. You got this one, kitty. You got this one.
We got Red Sea Crossing again.
My boy Moses starring in his first ever release.
What's going
Star
on
Wars
here?
Return of the Jedi. No, this... oh, God.
It was never even released.
Nor even mass-produced. So it doesn't count then. It wasn't released.
It's the NBA 2K, or whatever that is on the
One
PS3.
cartridge
It's the same
surfacing
thing.
in 1997. Interesting. Okay. It's out there, so I guess.
And finally...
That's number 1. Original Tennis for 2. Less than a week. How do you quantify that as a physical copy? Is it a fraction?
1958. All right, Kitty.
Right.
That was a heck of a list
All
there.
right. That was quite the roller coaster you took us on, to say the least.
All right, it could be worse. That wasn't
Okay.
terrible. Let's
All right.
see.
Solid
Yahoo
6 out of 10
Finance.
list. All right. Let's see what Yahoo Finance has to say. 2023, this year. So.
And it's from Andrew.
All right, Andrew. Let's see what you got.
COVID-19 signaled the rise of a new category of high-end collectibles, so he knows what he's talking about.
Okay. I see a Wada game.
And we have Super Mario Brothers. So right off the bat, You've got the soccer mom that found her son's old games in her attic. She's like, "Oh, I got this old Mario cartridge. I wonder what this
Oh
is
my god,
worth.
it's
Let
worth
me
$2 million.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this is what drives me nuts. And I say this all the time, like when especially because I scroll through a lot of TikTok, I can't lie, and you'll see people talking about, like Magic and Pokemon cards. And they'll be like, this card is worth $700, and it's like, yeah, if it's a PSA 10. Like, that's a whole different category. I'm like, people are always inflating the price based off of the highest sold, best condition of something. And we need to not do that, because it confuses people that aren't fully aware, which is most people.
That's probably the sticker seal if I were to read this. But yeah, he's talking about the one that sold for a ridiculous amount.
Nice.
And
see,
we got
Super Mario 64.
Gosh.
God. Story continues. See, hold on.
Wow.
Go back up.
So this is all a lot of stuff.
I don't think it says anywhere about the price, it doesn't say anything about the condition, that it was graded, any of that stuff, that it was new, and they're showing a loose copy of a European copy.
And it's Yahoo Finance. This is intentional.
Make me scream. Make me scream.
It's either intentional or the dude just really didn't do his research and wanted to get some clickbait out. Like, I don't know, man.
100%.
And it's a PAL copy.
That's what I said. It's a European copy, and it has Mario 64. Like it's some special double pack.
And then he follows it up with Zelda.
Oh, God. And it's a screenshot of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's the $870,000 sale. Another Mario.
Oh, go back up real quick, because I gotta see. Is it saying even rare and more valuable run? Limited early copy, okay. Because I thought it was gonna say it was more expensive because it was a gold cartridge, and I was gonna just stop recording.
What is the name of this list? The most expensive,
and rarest video games ever sold. So I guess he's not lying, but he's definitely misleading by not clarifying a few things.
So we got the matte sticker seal Mario. That's a thing. Another Mario.
See, that's where this is where the soccer mom. That's it. All right. That's where the soccer mom gets confused. She's like, "So my game's worth $2 million, right?" Yahoo.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was a roller coaster of emotions. So you know what? Shout out to Business Insider. They definitely not perfect, but they still have the most by the definition list.
Absolutely.
So we'll take it. CBR, you did your best. Yahoo Finance, you didn't even try.
All right. Yeah,
well,
that was fun. We could easily do that again if y'all were interested. Just let me know what y'all think of this content. And
Birthday Mania guy, if you're out there watching, let us know. Come on the show. Talk to us about Birthday Mania.
I can't wait to see the fight between Birthday Mania and Air Raid.
Yes, we need to see you guys duel to the death.
Alright, guys. Make sure to follow Craig. He's definitely going to be putting some content out soon, putting him on the spot.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, and we will see y'all next month for some more collective perspective.
Join the Discord, subscribe, and have a good day.